Greetings, and it's been so long since I've tapped into this modality to talk to you, but I was so moved yesterday by one of the clients I was working with that I really wanted to share this. I've become more aware of how affected we are in our betrayal of self. You know, we don't realize it until we begin to come nose to nose with parts of us that we feel are lost, and we want to retrieve them. And I was doing particular work with a client with the Primordial Tones, and it was extraordinary because I was explaining and we're starting to do the tones, and right away she moved into sort of deep stillness, and then I started to see tears coming down her eyes, and she shared, you know, I haven't been here, and she put her hand on her belly. I haven't been here in a long time, and I'm seeing this with people more often. So as I was sharing the tones, and we were exploring the shape of the sound, these primordial tones are so powerful. And after each of the tones, there's always a moment where you pause, and your brain has moved into this highly suggestible place. It's almost like it's fertile ground, because that's what sound does. So after each of these primordial chakra tones, there is a word signature that is then dropped into the fertile ground, if you will, of the biology, the biodynamics, and the rhythms, the biorhythms of the body. So as we were doing this, I was realizing these word signatures have often been misinterpreted. We tend to look at them from a modern perspective, a colloquial perspective, like I know what the word have means. However, what's starting to become more apparent is that we have to move out of the modern adaptive way of thinking and understanding and move into the mystical, because this is where we are all sitting now, but we just don't realize what it is. So when I'm going to explain what those word signatures are for each of those primordial tones. So for those of you who are not familiar with primordial tones, you can go visit YouTube. I have a 31-day challenge that you can do, or you can go on my website and download a free ebook about it. But I just wanted to share with you in this particular group, because I know you have been exposed to the primordial tones, what these word signatures are and how important they are to populating the cells and the vibratory field, if you will, of what we launch. So the first primordial tone is UUH. The sound is like this, very deep. Well, the word signature, because it's really a rooted sound, and it is the first tone of that energetic pyramid that we're setting up, is I have. Now, it doesn't mean I have acquired stuff, that I have a house and that I have friends, that I have food, it's not that I have. It's that I have been birthed with the knowing of who I am at my core. Every part of me understands how to be me. And part of what I was noticing, the client I was working with yesterday, she felt like she had abandoned herself. She had lost touch with that part of her that remembered who she is at her core. And so the I have is a language piece, because we're launching through our spoken word. But that I have speaks the word of I know who I am, and I recognize and reclaim who I am from this moment forward. It's powerful, powerful. So then the second primordial tone, and it sounds like this. Oh, it's a deep, rich, mid-abdomen tone. That particular word signature is I feel. Now, it's not I feel emotional, I feel, whatever ways that we conjure feelings. But what it's really activating is all your senses. So the I feel is I am coming online. All my senses are activated. Because when my senses, my sight, my touch, my smell, my taste, all of that, my hearing comes on board, I am now a fully aware human being. At that point, we are able to move into our super senses, which means we understand at an intuitive level. We have that awareness that is getting direct feedback through our own unique consciousness, if you will, that we are aligned with Source in a very unique way. That's the key thing with these primordial tones. No one is you. You're it. And they broke the mold when you were born. And so when you make the claim that I feel, it's like I feel the unique experience of being me, having an experience of me through all my senses. So then we move into the third primordial tone at the solar plexus, some would call it the third chakra vortex, EEH. So that particular sound is eh. It's an odd little sound, but powerful. That word signature, spoken at the end of the pause, at the end of making those tones, plants the seed of I act. I act. Meaning that I now trust myself to act on my own behalf, to choose on my own behalf what is right for me. I am the one doing this. So it's an initiator, and it's a way of trusting or stating that I trust who I am at this core. So we've laid the groundwork of the I have at the base of the pyramid, and then we slowly start moving up. So we activate our senses, our sensory experience. Then we move into the choice of using our will to act on our own behalf. So it's not I act out, I speak up, or whatever it is. It's I'm taking action consciously in my own behalf. And that could involve speaking. It could involve any number of things that is going to be unique for you. So what I'm finding is how important it is to move past the surface level of understanding of what these word signatures are and begin to deepen into what they truly are activating in our energy field. So moving up then into the heart center, the mid-range tone of the open ah, and it sounds like this. Ah, it's an open ah. It's I love. Now it's not that I love an object, that I can love. It is that I love myself. I have unchained my protective habit and walled off sense of who I am, and I have opened to and become vulnerable to how I love myself. That's my job here, is to love myself with, like a zealot, become devoted to the self in that way. It's the most extraordinary thing when we begin to recognize that all love, all ways that we love and spread love throughout the planet begins with the pebble that drops into your heart pool. You are the pond, you are the pebble, and you are the ripple of that love. So it starts with each of us becoming devoted to who we are at that core of love. So then we move into the throat center, which is in a signature word, and the sound, by the way, is this. It's triple O, and it's such a beautiful, refined tone. It sounds like this. Ooh. That purity has been activated. Now we are moving into the throat. So the word signature is I speak and I am heard. I speak and I am heard. Now it's not I talk and that I can hear people talking around me. It's not that. I speak means I manifest. We are born on a planet that was conceived of sound. So in order to manifest in this dimension, we must speak. Our being must resonate through voice. Who we are, how we are, what we are, where we are going, what we launch, what we want. All of this is heard and felt through the quality and the sound of the voice. So when we swallow our voices, when we silence ourselves, when we diminish our ideas and say, oh, that's nothing really that terribly important, when we check ourselves at the door and don't walk through the door, we are missing time and again the wonder and the joy and the beauty of who we are at our core. So that particular sound, that word, I speak, is a launching. I am heard is that I hear myself. I am able to resonate with the truth of who I am through my awareness. So I speak and I am heard is the key piece here. So now we move into the third eye. The third eye is an extraordinary tone of high refined frequency, and this is what it sounds like. This word signature is very simple. I see myself and in the totality of my being in relation to all it is. Now that's a big sound, a big statement. But the totality of my being is experienced in every cell in my body. And that extraordinary experience is what you see. We begin to create continuity with this particular tone, the third eye and the crown. And there it creates a field that looks like the infinity sign. And it's the continuity between the third eye and the pineal and the pituitary and the crown. And that opens up our intuitive awareness at a level that we are have support to really honor and act from that place, that awareness. So that the I see is that word signature. Then the final word signature is I know. That's a big statement. I know. But only you know who you are. It's not that I know all knowledge, that I know everything about everything, because that's impossible. What we're here to do is know all that we can know about who we are. So the I know is that I know I exist. I have proof of my existence because I feel, I act, I speak, I hear. So through all of that, I know who I am. So when we're doing all of these tones in order, you are really tuning your instrument like a refined, what comes to mind right now is a sitar, which is an amazing instrument. When you tune a sitar, that you have to be so refined. I have my Sufi teacher, well, I didn't know him, but Hazrat Inayat Khan was an extraordinary musician who always composed impromptu for all of the royalty that he performed for in the moment. So his sounds were alive. And we are these harmonic instruments of extraordinary beauty. So I was moved to share this with you because I know that my understanding of these word signatures has expanded. And so I wanted to share this with you as you do these primordial tones, if you're doing them. And if you aren't, that's okay. But the opportunity to really tune your instrument and take the time consciously to do so creates a ripple effect that I think our world is ready to recognize as we are changing from the inside out. So thank you again. And you can find me on my website, soundshifting.com. And if you have any questions, feel free to write something at the end of this post. And have a great day.